Hold your head up, it's kasi sa spigile. The time is now today.
So we do have a problem of eating too quickly and therefore eating too much than what the body requires, which therefore leads us to the problems that we are also seeing.
Sure. And so eating slowly is 20 minutes, you say?
20 minutes. Then your brain tells you, you are good now. No, don't add anything else.
Sure. So if I have a very small meal, but I eat it very slowly over 20 minutes,
yeah,
I'll be fuller for longer, or I will feel full?
The eating slowly just allows your body to digest food properly. It allows you to enjoy the food, because when you eat too quickly, you can't enjoy anything. You're just eating too fast. So I think in France, that's why they say people in France really don't have a lot of obesity, because they eat slowly and they believe in savoring the meal, enjoying what you are eating more than just gobbling everything down, which is what we do.
Could that be poverty though as well? Like if you're having you don't want to really savor that. You just want to eat. You just want to eat and get it over and done with.
I think for me, because I also know I eat fast, so I need to be mindful when I'm eating, remind myself that, there's no need to rush. But that's because when I grew up, we used to share food. So
you had to rush.
On a bowl, my brother will cut half and say, this is mine. My sister will cut the half that is left and say, this is mine. So what I will then do is I'll eat faster, because I know if that is porridge, it doesn't matter whether you told me to eat my half, because your half is spilling over in my side. So I just need to eat quickly and make sure that I'm full. So for some, that could be the reason, if based on the environment that they grew up in. But for some, maybe it's just when you eat in front of the TV, you're really not paying attention as well. That could also lead to eating too quickly.
And so with COVID-19 specifically, right? So people that have been infected or affected by COVID-19, what are some of the nutritional steps that they should take? Like what are the nutritional changes that will help, just helps to build the body?
All right. So the challenges we have with COVID is the poor appetite. And then what we know with the cycle of poor appetite is that the more you don't eat, the more you don't want to eat. So it perpetuates the cycle of not wanting to eat. Then your body requirements are high because you're fighting an infection. So what maybe I would recommend is that although you might be challenged with poor appetite, try things like drinking water with lemon, which might help improve the appetite. If you have taste changes, a teaspoon of bicarbonate in warm water and just gargle with that may help to clean the tongue. And then maybe over a period of time, you find that the tasting of meals come back. But you have to continuously strive to eat something. Then maybe what will also help is contacting a dietitian in your area and get a supplement that you can buy at the normal retail shops. At least that will, if it's something to drink, we find that it might be better tolerated even when you don't have appetite than looking at a meal. Also, what helps is dishing your meal into a bigger plate, because you're tricking yourself to think that I'm gonna finish this meal quicker, right? So you dish a small portion of a meal, but in a large plate. So then when you look at it, it looks like it's gonna be like a few spoons, and then I'm gonna be done. So those tips may help to ensure that at least you try and eat something rather than not eating anything at all. But you have to try, even trying just plain bread, because what is important is that at the end of the day, there has to be something in the body. Yes, it's not balanced if you're only having bread, but it's better than not having anything. And that bread will at least ensure that your appetite over time at least come back. It can be bread, it can be just a boiled potato.
And we have, going back there, a big plate of phuthu, right? Yeah. And whatever you have your phuthu with, and it's 8 p.m. in the night. And you're about to go to bed. Tell us about that. Tell us, I don't know, how should we probably tailor our meals? Is that a good thing to do? Is it a bad thing to do?
I think it can't be a one size fits all because we don't have the same challenges. For an example, yes, if I'm trying to lose weight, it might not be a good idea to have my phuthu at night. I might want to consider having it at lunchtime. Why lunchtime? Because I'm still walking up and down, going about my day. So that extra energy I've put in, I'll be able to use. Because we eat to live. So we
not live to eat, right? I heard that.
So
before, yeah.
so we at least it makes sense. Also, your brain doesn't compromise in terms of the energy coming from the sugar. But what you want to do, you don't want to use then sugar in supporting your brain. You want to use sugar that is coming from your food. So therefore, it makes sense to have that starchy meal or that starch with a meal for lunch rather than for supper because you're trying to lose. Supper time, you just do your veggies and meat and you exclude the starch. But if you are someone who's thin and your eating doesn't really affect you much, it really doesn't matter. But do remember that what you do early in life is also going to affect you later in life. What is important, I think, is making sure that your plate is balanced. You must have those veggies, and I know we hate veggies. We don't like veggies a lot.
I love it.
You are one of a kind. Most people, they don't like vegetables. So what is important is that instead of worrying about fat must be there, we cook with oil, you put margarine in bread. So it becomes impossible to try and balance the fat must be in my plate, the vegetables must be in my plate, the carbs must be in my plate. What maybe we need to look at is that your plate must have three most important things.
Great. Actually, I was going there.
Starch.
What is a balanced meal now? Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
You must have the starch, you must have veggies, and then you must have your protein. I'm saying protein because some people don't eat meat, but they eat
like my friend.
They are vegetarians, so they take sugar beans or legumes. But the challenge we've seen with the vegans is that because there are different types of vegetarians as well. There is lacto-ovo vegetarians and vegans. Vegans, they don't touch meat in whatever form, no eggs, no nothing, just veggies only. So they need to think about supplementing themselves in terms of iron. Because you need the high biological value proteins are important, which come from the meat products.
Okay.
So if you're not getting that, then rather supplement, making sure that you are getting enough iron, so that you don't end up having low iron stores.
And how do you supplement? Is this with pills or with other foods that are higher in iron?
Remember, they are vegan, so they don't take meat.
Yeah. So there are some things that are only just found in meat.
There are certain, yes. You will have iron from the soya and the legumes. However, you can't eat legumes every day. And also, you must remember, some of the soya products are high in salt. So therefore, what is important is that you balance that out and then just ask your doctor for a supplement in terms of your iron stores. They can also do a baseline just to check whether you do have a deficiency or not.
Sure. And maybe take us through a breakfast maybe as well. A breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner.
So breakfast, for me, it doesn't have to be, because when we say breakfast must have protein, people then think, oh, I must eat cereal. I must eat cereal and milk and then have bread and eggs. But your cereal and milk is adequate as breakfast. And then you can just add a fruit. You don't eat veggies for breakfast. Or you can do the protein with your bread. But it doesn't mean that all the time you must have the two together.
I see.
Right.
Only when you go to a buffet.
Of course. Of course. Right. So you can do it that way. You can also have both, but cut down the portions as well. And then you can have tea with your breakfast, and then also look at how much sugar you are adding into your teas, because some people will add 4, maybe 5 teaspoons of sugar. And I also find that very interesting that people will add less sugar in teas and coffees, but they are drinking 2 liters of cool drinks a day, and they think that
I'm
cut down my sugar. But they don't realize they're having 30 teaspoons on the other side.
Might as well have the 4. in your coffee, right?
So yeah, and then for lunch it could be either your bread, it could be just veggies and meat. If it's the leftover, if you want, you can do your veggies and meat, or you can do your starch. I don't usually tell my patients that their phuthu, their serpent beans is bad for health. I think we are demonizing the cultural food, which leaves our people not sure what to eat.
Please educate us.
Right.
Yes.
So I think the problem with us is the quantities that we consume. So we just need to look at how much we are consuming, and also the fact that when we have inhloko and all these other things,
which are so good.
They are so fatty, but so if you look at inhloko, tripe, and all of that, perhaps once a month, just treat yourself. It's a delicacy. Don't overdo it every week.
It's a delicacy.
Yes. So, and then your phuthu's, your serpent beans. Serpent beans is good. I mean, it's high in fiber. Your beans are giving you protein. So there's nothing wrong with serpent beans, but again, our portion sizes when it comes to those types of foods are too big. So we then need to watch for that, right? But otherwise, you can successfully manage your sugars and other things by just knowing how to mix the meal correctly. Let me make an example as well. Let's say maybe I have rice, but I put butternut and I do potato salad. Do you see the problem?
What you
according to
two potato,
you're having two starches and you're having a starchy veg.
Right.
So that is just full of energy. So perhaps it might have worked if I did rice, I did my butternut. There's nothing wrong with mixing the two, but maybe look at spinach and herbs. Look at green beans, green salad, look at mixed veg, look at coleslaw. Those veggies are lower in sugar, so then they will complement the butternut very well and complement the total meal very well.
Oh yeah, and you spoke about portion sizes as well.
Yeah.
So what are the portion sizes?
Again, the problem is there's no size that fits all.
Right.
We can calculate your energy requirements and therefore be able to tell you how much of what should you have for breakfast, lunch, and supper. But it's no one size fits everybody.
Sure.
I can say with the bread, I always use the bread as the base.
It's the base of everything.
Because it's easier to know if you're overeating with bread. If I take 6 slices, I know. I don't need someone to tell me that I'm overeating. I know I'm having 6 slices of bread. Even 4, I'm a little bit concerned that 4 slices is a bit much.
I'm looking at some people in this room. Just
So I would say maybe 2 to 3 slices per meal. Obviously, those people with high metabolism, they can afford to eat a little bit more. But if you're trying to lose weight, if you're maintaining, keep it to 2 to 3. Your 2 to 3 will then be equivalent to 1.5 cup of your phuthus, your rice, your serpent beans, so that you're not overeating. And then you add your veggies and you add your meat. And one of the things that are lacking in our meals is the fiber. Fiber you get from your fruits, you get from your vegetables, your legumes, and your starches that are like your brown bread instead of white bread and all of that. But you might be asking, what is the importance of fiber? If fiber helps you control your blood sugars better, if you're already diabetic, it keeps you fuller for longer if you're trying to lose and trying to curb the hunger. So it keeps you fuller for longer. It lowers your cholesterol naturally in the bloodstream. It cleans the gut. And then it lowers, or it prevents constipation. So if you're having constipation problems, you need to up your fiber intake. I think then again the challenge is, how do I do that? If you love bananas, grapes, you love watermelon, pineapples, pawpaws, your fiber intake is going to be very low.
You're counting on my
but
okay.
So you need to focus more on your apples, your pears, your oranges, nanchis, your plums, your peaches, your guavas. Those will be slightly higher than the bananas and the watermelons. Am I saying those are bad for you? No. But I'm saying maybe you want to look at, I'm going to have an apple, a banana, and an apple. So I'm still getting my banana, but I'm just not having 3 bananas a day, and then not eating the apple at all. All right. Then, in terms of veggies, that example that I made you, where we think potato salad is a veg, when potato salad is a starch. So you also remember that there's no one single food that can give you all the nutrition that you need. So if you buy apples all the time, you're only getting more the vitamin A, and you're not getting much of the other nutrition that you need. Are we saying people must then have apples, oranges, nutties? No. But when that packet of apples is finished, then look at something else to buy rather than buying the same apples, so that you get variety, and then you go back to buying your apples again. So it's more about looking at your budget, aligning what you want to buy with your budget as well. But at the end of the day, you can eat healthy even though you are on a limited budget. And then obviously I can't overemphasize the cutting down of sugar, particularly from the beverages. If anything, we need to start learning how to read the labels, because the salt is there as well, but we don't read. It's not that you don't have the beverages or juices, but how many classes of the beverages and juices are you having? That's what I want you to look at. And that is why I'm showing you how you can start to look at how much sugar you're actually consuming in a day. And then obviously the caffeine, which is hidden in some of the fizzy drinks, as well as your energy drinks, we need to cut that down because of the cardiac conditions. Because in South Africa, that is our most challenging condition in terms of the chronic conditions of lifestyle. Then follows diabetes. The last one will be exercise. Please exercise, any form of movement. I think our very lifestyle has made us very lazy. When you want to change a channel, you're sitting here, there's a remote, jigs. If you want to go to second floor, you take a lift to the second floor. So sometimes I think that it is important to challenge ourselves. That even if you're walking in a mall, can you just put some energy into your walk, so that forms part of your exercise. If you're going to the second floor, maybe take a walk instead of taking a lift. All of those things will be better, because now they are saying even 30 minutes of exercise a day, maybe 4 times a week, will make a huge amount of an impact in your life in terms of the chronic disease of lifestyle, particularly the cardiac conditions. Yes.
So doctor, what where can we get a hold of you? How can we, ask questions or whatever? Are you on the socials? Are you social? Is there an email address? How do we get a hold of you?
I am, but recently they've disabled my account, so I'm still trying to sort that out. So at the moment, you can, if you Google, I am there. Also, I do have rooms at Detox Center. So I would say at the moment, those are the 2. LinkedIn, I'm also available.
This has been amazing, Dr. Phumelele. Wow, thank you so very much. And the thing is, I think what I'm picking up with all that you're saying is that there is no specific way really of fighting disease through nutrition. It's just really affecting your life basically through nutrition, so that should disease strike,
you are ready. Your immune system is ready. You are ready for it, and then you can just add whatever extra, because obviously, and also with COVID, I think the one thing that I would like to say is that if you have ulcers, or you have gastritis or acid reflux, or you have esophagitis, those conditions that cause abdominal pain, then you are taking a lot of lemon, it exacerbates the problem. So I would say just do things in moderation is very, very important. You do the right thing, but in moderation, don't overdo it, because you can then end up causing more problems for yourself.
Too much of anything, is a bad thing. Too much of anything is a bad thing. Wow, Dr. Phumelele, thank you. This has been so educational. I'm sure everyone watching is really when it comes to our nutrition. And I think, again, I really wanted to highlight, and I'm not trying to put some kind of what do you call this thing? Stigma.
Yeah.
With but sometimes we just don't have access to this information.
Yeah.
You know, there's because of whatever reason that we don't, and so you know, and so I'm really glad that this is the case, and I hope a lot of our African brothers and sisters get to watch this, so that
Yes.
So thank you so much, Dr. Phumelele. This has been absolutely amazing. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, and thank you to you too, eThekwini, for watching every time. This has been the 100% Talk Show, where all the time we give you 100% real talk, because we are 100% real people, and we want and need and desire for you to be healthy and fit and strong, so that we can see the next years and the next generations and, you know, the time to come. So this is Dr. Phumelele Mthembu. We had an amazing conversation of how we can all fight disease through nutrition. And remember, it's not just COVID-19. There are all sorts of lifestyle diseases and whatever else. We need to be prepared and ready ourselves. So my name has been Thembeka Vilani. And until next time, I love you so much, but remember, God loves you more.